Fighting Forecast is back after a break, and we got 13 fights at the Apex. It's my birthday weekend. September 7th on Saturday is my birthday, and we got a fight night. Let's go. We're going to break down each and every fight as fast as possible, lightning fast, and we're not going to waste your time. We could talk about last week, the prior fight night, UFC Vegas 96, where the picks were pretty good on this side of the board here. 9 for 11, and the dog of the week, it was Zygimantas Ramaska, the first fight of the night here, but he got canceled. The staph infection for Nathan Fletcher was pretty obvious, so that fight got canceled. Had to make Ryan Loder the underdog of the week. I'm going to pull it up here. Went heavy. I put the same unit wager on Ryan Loder that I had on Ramaska. Thankfully, it hit. I wasn't as confident, so now you know the first fight of the night and which pick I'm going to take. An underdog. He's still an underdog. Plus 110 for Ramaska right now in the bookmakers, but last week he was plus 140. Ryan Loder, he was the secondary option. Still got it done there. And the other pick I had wrong, the other Contender Series fight there, he got smoked. Gabriel Santos was very good, and I should have took him to win. Con Olfley was awful. It looked like he had some easy fights on the Ultimate Fighter, and then he ended up having his toughest fight to date, probably, in the finale at UFC Vegas 96. The other fight here, this guy's going to be shingling roofs very soon, so give him a call, Edmund Shabazian. Lock of the week. I can't believe I locked him in, but Zachary's, he got it done by a decision, though. Thankfully, I threw a unit at that. That paid back pretty damn good, 8 units in return, so I did not expect that to hit. Couldn't believe it hit. He got the decision win. The only lock to hit for me. I'm going to bounce back. I'm going to get the locks under control. The picks are still very good. 9 for 11. There's a guy predicting, he's not predicting, but every predictor each and every week is getting tracked. And the Fight Fiend Forecast is one of the channels getting tracked. All the big channels are getting tracked, and thankfully, we were up there, the most correct. We got to keep that momentum rolling forward, and we got to be lightning fast with these predictions. But the longest part of this video is going to be the recap. If you want to skip ahead, move on, I got timestamps. Hit the timestamp. It's in the comments, the description. You can go to whatever fight you want to hear. But I'm going to do a quick recap. The Platinum Hammer, it was taken care of, back under control here. Dreadstocks knows what he's doing. Steve Erceg was a little hiccup along the way here. Tabitha, Baby Shark, Richie got it done, and we hammered it. But we had Edmund goddamn Shabazian, who's going to be shingling roofs now. So seriously, if you have a leaky roof, if you need new shingles, give him a call. His fight didn't look too good against Gerard Merchard. You know, second round, he went too hard for the finish. We had another situation with a referee not wanting to stop the fight. He gassed out, got caught in a submission. Reminded me of Charalampos Gregorio, but god damn it. It happens, I guess. Again, had a lot of other good picks and bets on the card here. Tabitha and Jaqueline Cavalcanti got it done there by a decision. 2 decision dominators I had in a bet, so we were profitable. That's the main thing at the end of the week. The locks did not hit, but we still managed to produce profit. I was up 7 units on the night, UFC Vegas 96. So if you want to see each and every bet this week, join Patreon. It's $5 a month. You're going to see each and every bet, and you can link that Discord if you have it as well, and everything goes to Discord first. I think it's the cleanest way for me to get my information out there for Platinum members, and all they got to do is link their Discord once they have Patreon for $5 a month. You can also become a member on YouTube here. It's also around $5, something like that. Help support the channel. That's what I got going right now. If you want to support the channel, those are the 2 ways, and you also get a bunch of great tools to go along with supporting a great channel that has been gaining momentum throughout the weeks here. The followers are going up. Subscribers are going up. I really appreciate that. Let's get to 1,000 subscribers. And then I'll give out $100 to a couple people. Probably 5, possibly 10. We'll see how things go within the next couple weeks here. I'm feeling pretty generous. I guarantee you money will be given out once I hit 1,000 subscribers. So make a burner account. Tell your friends. Tell your mother. Tell your father. Join the Fight Fiend Forecast and subscribe now. We're going to make these predictions lightning quick. I'm not even joking. That intro was very long. I had to tell you to join. Become a Platinum Forecaster. It's my birthday weekend. You want to support the channel? I understand that. It's only $5 a month. I have a bunch of great tools to offer. The line movement tracker. It goes ballistic each and every week. Each and every bet. You can see that as well. That's a big part of being a Platinum Forecaster. Seeing the bets. I got all sport bets as well. Last night, look at this MLB bet that just collected a bag for us. I mean, I'm not just doing MMA, but that is my specialty. I did a PFL parlay, an LFA parlay. I'm going to be doing some Bellator parlays. So for $5 a month, you're getting a lot of access. Instagram, follow on there for free as well. Bunch of content on there. On X, Twitter, TikTok. You got to follow on all platforms to get the most access possible from the Fight Fiend Forecast. Hopefully everybody is F3 4L because we're going to get ready to go here for UFC Vegas 97 on my birthday weekend. I'm fired up. I want to be lightning quick. I want to give you some information as quick as possible. We got 13 fights. Let's do it in 13 minutes here. No edits, no cuts. Simple predictions here. Zygimantas, Ramaska 9-2. He has to come back and weigh in again against Nathan Fletcher, who had a definite, what do you call those things? I already said it there. His infection. He had an infection on his arm. It was pretty obvious. And he's probably still going to be a bit sick in this fight. He's 9-1. Both these guys are on the Ultimate Fighter. Nathan Fletcher lost to Khan Offley, and we've seen Offley look awfully bad. So, I mean, maybe Fletcher isn't as good as everybody thinks. He's a slight favorite. I think the underdog is still the right side here. He's going to be the healthier fighter. He's going to be the better fighter on the feet. He's quick and accurate on the feet, actually. He won his quarterfinal fight, and Nathan Fletcher lost his quarterfinal fight. Fletcher had that staph infection. I completely forget the word staph sometimes. I don't know why. It's kind of a weird word, staph infection. But this guy had it, and he's not going to be too healthy in this fight, in my opinion. It was just 2 weeks ago. Okay, now he's going to cut weight again. He's going to possibly still have staph infection on his arm. Fight could get canceled again. You never know. But he's coming from Cage Warriors. This is another thing. These guys, I don't know how great they are. His last win was to a 6-1 opponent by a decision. After that, beat a guy 8-1 by arm triangle choke. On the Ultimate Fighter, he lost in his quarterfinal fight to Conor Offley. I don't know how good he'll be, if he's going to be awfully good or not. I don't think so. He's definitely getting set up for a loss to a very good striker that beat up that guy in the quarterfinals. I forget his name there. Usmanov or Bekzad or whatever the hell his name was. A guy that fought Jimmy Rivera in bare knuckle boxing. A guy that is very tough and durable that ate each and every shot. He just ate the shots. I couldn't believe it. I rewatched the fight and Ramaska was hitting him with the burn door. And it wasn't dropping him. In this fight, I think Fletcher will get dropped. He'll get finished. 9-2. He has 2 losses, the guy I'm picking to win this slight underdog. But it was a decision win, 10-2 opponent. This guy is a very good kickboxer, Muay Thai fighter. I think he gets it done here, on the feet. Much cleaner fighter on the feet. Better accuracy. But on the ground, anything can happen. Fletcher had a, tight submission against Conor Offley that could have finished the fight on the Ultimate Fighter. That would be the only way for him to win this fight. The last 3 wins for Ramaska or knockouts. I think that is his way to win this fight, the knockout. If not, get it done on the judge's scorecard. If Fletcher's going to win this fight as a slight favorite, if other people are seeing him as a right side in this fight, they're picking him to win. Maybe they're thinking he's getting the submission. He got that triangle choke at Cage Warriors just a year ago. 8-1 opponent. Decision win before that. But he got knocked out at Cage Warriors 2 years ago, and that guy was 7-4. So the knockout very likely could occur. I think it will occur in this fight. So I'm taking Ramaska. I'm putting another heavy bet down, probably 6 units on Ramaska. Manage the bankroll wisely. 1 unit for me is $25. For you, it could be $100, $200. I think 6 units is a healthy wager on this healthy fighter. And the next fight that we're breaking down, the second fight at UFC Vegas 97, is going to be a probably big favorite. It's a favorite that I'm going to be taking. I'm going to be taking a few favorites from here on out. I'm taking 3 underdogs. I'm playing it safe, and I'm trying to be sharp and accurate with these predictions. The next fight, big favorite, Andrade Petroski. His striking isn't great. He's 11-3, and we know his striking just isn't great. But Budka just got knocked out. He's 7-3. Just another guy that's pretty green, pretty young in his career right now, coming from the LFA. He is a good wrestler. But if he wrestles in this fight, that could get him caught to a very good grappler, Andrade Petroski, who will have a grappling advantage if this fight hits the floor on the feet. He's a grinder, but he got knocked out in a weird fight to Jacob Malkoon. He was knocked out after that, or before that. What was it, after or before? It was before, to Michel Pereira. Just a punch and ground and pound, put him out. He won his last fight, Petroski. It was a decision. Josh Frem wasn't able to find the finish. I'm not banking on him to find the finish here against Dylan Budka, who I do think is tough, is durable, but did get knocked out in his last fight. Started to gas out. Round 2, 3, Petroski probably live for a finish. Submission possibly. 3 losses for Budka already. A split decision, nonetheless, to a 15-3 opponent. He is tough, he is durable, but he also could get finished. He just beat a guy 2-3 a year ago. And then after that, he beat a guy fucking 9-2, Chad Hanekom, on Dana White's Contender Series. He was an underdog in that fight. Got it done by a decision on short notice. You know, with this fight here, anything can happen. Budka is 24 years old. Petroski's 33, but I think Petroski has that advantage with the experience, with the grappling. If the fight hits the floor, Petroski probably grabs a submission, but he has a couple decision wins. Yes, Gerard Mershit, split decision win there that he was not able to find a submission in. Mershart has a ton of submission wins, so he was able to defend those submissions. Same thing with Wellington Turman, another decision win before the Gerard Mershart win there for Petroski. He's not able to find the finish. As him being such a big favorite in this fight, he just is not able to find the finish. It's the truth. Budka, I don't really think he's a guy to go out there and get finished unless he gasses out. So we're going to see in this fight. I am taking Petroski on the money line, but at this wide price, I mean, I'm not going to do a whole lot with it. Not looking to do a whole lot with it. I can't trust this guy striking. Or his fucking chin. Whatever's left of it, right? So, sketchy favorite here for sure. I'm not going to complain or argue too much if anybody is taking Dylan Budka in this fight. That's up to you. These are just my predictions for UFC Vegas 97. And we're back after a break. And we got a women's fight next year. And I can't wait to see these two girls go to work. On my birthday. Jaqueline, Amorim, and Vanessa Demopoulos. The record of the fighters might trick you. 11-5, Demopoulos. 8-1 for Jaqueline Amorim. Amorim, she's going to be the better, grappler in this fight. I don't think she's going to be the better striker or have the better gas tank. But she'll probably win this fight. I mean, Vanessa's been in some close fights. The last one, split decision to a 13-8 Emily Ducat. And then another split decision not too long ago to Jin Yun Fry, 11-6. That was like 2 years ago. She's in some split decisions. She was handed the loss to Karolina Kowalkiewicz, who was 14-7. Unanimous decision win for Carolina there. Vanessa can lose fights, close fights. This is going to be a close fight. She can also win close fights. She's a big underdog. This is another wide line. This is a girl with more experience as the underdog. But I don't think she's going to get it done here. I have to ever so slightly lean with the American top team wrestler, Jaqueline, Amorim, to just get enough control time, takedowns to win this fight. She knocked out Monstrat, but, I mean, that's Monstrat. I mean, I can't give you too much credit in that win. I don't think your hands are that good. I think on the feet, this could be a little sweaty. Could be a little close. So I wouldn't bet on this one. I would just leave it off. Over 1.5, over 2.5 is definitely something I would look to do. The fight to go the distance. But with that being said, the girl I'm picking to win, the minus 350 moderate favorite, just submitted Corey McKenna by armbar. She looked damn good in that fight. And she finished Monstrat in the fight before that. She's finishing these girls. She's looking damn good. It'd be hard to go against her. But if this is one you're disagreeing on, this is just my prediction. I'm not betting it. This girl did lose to Sam Hughes 7-5 in her debut. So there is some holes in her game. She's still green. 29 years old. Has less experience. The odds are way too wide at this point. I ain't going to argue or, complain if you're taking this underdog here, Vanessa Demopoulos, at all. I'm not doing much with the favorite here, Jaqueline, Amorim. For the picks, for the percentages, I'm just going to take the favorite. I'm being honest. I'm not looking to take these big underdogs and get caught, ruin my percentages, especially now that I'm getting tracked. I'm just going to play it safe and take this big-ass favorite and do nothing with it other than the overs. Play it smart, everybody. That's all you can do really on this one. If you have confidence in the favorite or the underdog, I don't even know what to say. Next fight, I'm breaking down Gabriel Santos, Yi Zha, 25-4 Yi Zha. Underdog in this fight, 3-1 underdog. Does he have a chance? I don't know. He has a lot of experience, but he's coming off the road to the UFC. He has...
The mic's off.
What the fuck? He has 2 finishes on the road to the UFC. A submission win in his last fight there.
The mic's back on. The mic's off.
The fuck is going on? He has 2 submission... No, I'm fucking up here now. He has 2 finish wins on the road to the UFC. A submission win in his last fight there. 12-5 opponent. He looked good. He got the armbar. He had a knockout win. No, he did have 2 submissions. Holy fuck, I'm all over the place. He had the 2 submission wins on the road to the UFC. 31-11 was his other opponent, and it was an armbar as well. So, that submission, pretty dangerous. The level of competition, not too bad. Not horrible. For a 3-1 underdog, closing in a bit here now, he could be live. Now, I'm not overly confident on any picks yet. I'm sorry, but I got to go with another favorite with low confidence. Not too high, because he lost his last 2 fights. But the reason why I'll take him to win here is a split decision to Lerone Murphy. He showed that on the feet, on the ground. He's a well-rounded fighter. He can keep this fight competitive wherever the fight goes. A decision fight, it might get sweaty, it might get greasy, but the odds, the bookmakers have this as a pretty wide price tag from what I think is going to happen. Although Gabriel Santos should win, it's probably going to be close. I mean, I can't argue with anybody taking Yi Zha. I can't. But I do think Gabriel Santos has fought the better competition and has a little bit better UFC experience. He has a split decision loss to Lerone Murphy, 11-0. He looked very good in that fight. Short notice fight in his debut. So he was fucking looking pretty good in that fight to take it to a split decision with Lerone Murphy. He looked like a dog. That is probably why he's such a big favorite in this fight. He just got caught in his last fight by knockout on the ground. He's a Brazilian. He should be able to stop the submissions from Yi Zha. Keep it on the feet and look damn good. Possible finish on his side on the feet. Possible finish for Yi Zha on the ground. But if it goes the distance, I got to think the favorite gets it done here, gets his hand raised, even if it's sweaty or not. I just got to be safe with these predictions. Even if I'm not betting him to win, I think this is another great fight to go over 1.5 at least for sure. I don't see a finish too early in this fight, although we don't know a whole lot about Yi Zha. He's been looking pretty good on the road to the UFC, getting those armbars. This could be his chance to shine. I just don't see it. Don't see it. And the next fight, I do see some big line movement, actually, and see people taking the underdog still. Felipe Santos, the underdog, 8-1, fighting an undefeated fighter, Andrade Lima. Both these guys from Brazil. Interesting fight here. And we got a couple more fights to predict on the prelims. This one might be the fight of the night. One of the most entertaining fights, especially at flyweight. These two prospects are looking very good. Have some credible fights already on the record. Manel Kopp was a big unanimous decision loss for Felipe Santos, where he got credit for coming in on short notice looking pretty good. A split decision win in his last fight to Victor Altamirano. Altamirano's not great. A split decision, he made that look close. And he should have got the finish. And he made that look close. And Andre Lima got bit in one fight, got the disqualification win there. I think on the feet he was pumping him, making Severino suffer really on the feet, causing Severino to start biting him, look for a way out. Rickson Zemdin, 14-1. He lost a unanimous decision, got absolutely dominated everywhere the fight went against Andre Lima on the Contender Series 10 months ago. And his most recent fight, it was a split decision as well 2 months ago to Mitch Raposo. But Raposo's a good fighter, a very good fighter, 9-1 at the time. He was supposed to be going to the Contender Series. And then he stepped in and looked like a dog. Now, Andre Lima still got it done. He's fought, in my opinion, the better competition. He's looked better. He has a couple knockout wins before.
The mic's back on.
Oh, are you fucking serious? You do that one more time. He had a couple knockout wins before the Contender Series. Knocked out a guy 7-2, 4-2. He has hands. And he has technical boxing as well. He's going to get this done. He's going to be the sharper fighter, undefeated. I think he's going to be way more composed and confident in there. He has a great takedown defense. I think he can stuff the takedowns and be way more accurate on the feet here against Felipe Santos, who is a dog, who does fight for your money, has a lot of energy, has a lot of heart, but a little inaccurate, throws a little wild, might be getting some takedowns stuffed. I don't love him to control this fight. Maybe to push forward a little bit, but I don't see him winning it. So I'm going to go with the guy seeing the line movement. Obviously, someone else agrees here. They've already went heavy when this fight was pretty well a coin flip. Now, Andre Lima becoming a bigger and bigger favorite. We're still seeing some folks on the Chute Box Diego Lima side. It is what it is. Everybody has their own predictions. This is just my prediction show. These are my picks. If you want the bets, join Patreon, $5 a month, and we can collect a bag together. Andre Lima, I'm going to be honest, he's probably going to be a bet, not just a prediction. So keep that in mind
when you're betting against me.
And we're going to move on with the next fight here. Isaac Dulgarian. This is probably the most stupidest, not even priced fight, just like matched fight in the UFC. Brendon Marotte. He got knocked out pretty bad to Terrence McKinney in the first round with the flying knee, punches, ground and pound. Isaac Dulgarian can do the same thing. He's been doing the same thing. He has a bunch of round one finishes, but then he lost a split decision in his last fight to Christian Rodriguez, where he could have won. He had ran out of gas, but he still had enough gas just to win the fight, I thought. It was obviously a split decision. It was close, and Christian Rodriguez has beat other guys more unanimously. I think Dulgarian is working on the gas tank. And before that win, he knocked out Francis Fire Marshall. Knockout win, round one. Knocked out a 7-2 opponent before that. 1-1 submission win there. 2-3 before that. Not the highest caliber guys, don't get me wrong, but he's doing the job in round one. I expect him to do the same thing here. This is a setup fight. I don't know why the matchmakers would do this to Brendon here. You know? This is just not fair to him. Like, usually I never say that about a fight, but this is just not fair. Like, the kid just got knocked out in round one to Terrence McKinney, and now he has to go fight another killer a round one finisher, explosive, with power. Isaac Dulgarian, the Midwest Chappa, who's a fucking minus 3,000 favorite. Like, at this point, you can't bet it. You have to look at the round one prop and hope for it to hit. Like, if Dulgarian doesn't get him out of there in round one, then you're screwed. It's not worth it. If you see it going late, I don't know how you do, because Terrence McKinney just floored Brendon in the first round. He is a former lightweight, but cutting down here, I don't know if he's going to have much of an advantage. He might look a little bit bigger. No reach advantage. No big height advantage. He's 5'9", Dulgarian 5'7". I don't think he's the better fighter at all in this fight. He's 8-2. His other loss 5 years ago was a decision loss. Before the Terrence fight, he had fought 11-20 opponents. Like, this guy was 11-20 and submitted him a year before Terrence. And a guy 3-1 knocked him out. And before that, he was so inactive. He hasn't fought since 5 years ago. He took like a fucking 3-year break. He lost that fight to the guy 5-1, unanimous decision. And then he beat a guy 8-4 by a split decision and took like a 3-year break. I don't know how he made it to the UFC. He's just getting sent to the Shadow Realm, right to the slaughterhouse. I don't know. This is not a fair fight. I don't know how it's sanctioned. I don't know why the matchmakers would do this to Marotte, but they're doing it. And if he gets finished in round one, people are going to get paid. I just feel like it's a little bit too obvious, but it's probably going to be another wide line for a round one finish for Isaac Dulgarian. It definitely won't be plus money. I could mark my words in stone on that. He's going to dominate this fight. And if he doesn't get it done, I guess we're all screwed, because 96% of people on Tapology have him to win, and he is the biggest favorite probably in UFC history. I've never seen a favorite this big in the UFC. Honestly, why make it a fight at this point? It seems stupid. The next fight, the final fight on the prelims, and we got to speed it up. I said lightning quick. We're lightning slow. And this guy, 41 years old, is lightning slow. Ovince St. Preux, 27-17 against Ryan Superman Spann. I said Spawn. It's Spann. And this has to be a fight for Superman to win. Ryan Spann has to win this fight. He lost 3 in a row. A split decision to Anthony Smith that, yeah, he should have won. He got robbed. But then he got knocked out, ground and pound, 4 months ago to Bogdan Gaskov. He got submitted to Nikita Krylov. He hasn't won since that power jab to Dominic Reyes. He can do it again. He can get the knockout on the feet in this fight. He's going to be faster. He's going to be more accurate, in my opinion, and have more power. He just has to prove it to us. Losing 3, we're starting to lose hope, honestly. Come on, Superman. You got to save the day here. You're a huge favorite. You cannot drop the bag now. If you do, go to the PFL. You are a perfect fighter for the PFL. You submitted Ion Cutelaba, but a submission win in this fight against Ovince St. Preux, who's slow and sloppy. I don't think you're going to be able to submit him. He has some submissions on his record way back in the day. He knows how to defend a submission. But I think he can get knocked out. We all know he can get knocked out. His last loss was a knockout to Felipe Lins. He got knocked out to Tanner Bozer. And he got knocked out to Jamal Hill, the former champion.
The mic's off. The mic's back on.
The mic is now officially the fuck off. Just like Ovince St. Preux is about to be after he gets knocked the fuck out. Honestly, his last 2 wins are split decisions. One to Shogun Rua. A split decision to Shogun Rua. And 5 months ago, a split decision to Kennedy Nzechukwu. Great win for you there. Great win. Your last win. This win, you're going out with a loss. A finish loss. It's going to be easy money for Ryan Superman Spann if he wants to make it look easy. And that's just all what it comes down to, because he never fights consistent. He lost his last 3. And he could have beat those 3 guys. Honestly, he could have. But he didn't. He just didn't show up. At this point, you got to hope he shows up. We're losing hope, but I trust him to show up. He's a much younger fighter, the more powerful, faster fighter. This is it for Ovince St. Preux. He's going to get knocked out again and retire at 41 years old, opening up as such a big underdog. This is it. The time is up. At the age of 40, they start to be on a decline. At the age of 35, 36, they start to be on a decline. We're going to have to predict another fighter that is older. We might have to trust in him, but at 41, I am not trusting in Ovince St. Preux, OSP. He's a legend of the game. I'm not disrespecting him, but his last 2 wins, split decisions. Okay? His last 3 losses come by knockout. Ryan, Superman, Spann can win this fight by knockout. He can win this fight by a decision too. Just like that Anthony Smith fight. It went to a split decision. He got robbed. In this fight, if it goes to a decision, I say he wins it by unanimous decision. And Ovince St. Preux takes the gloves off, gives a big speech at the Apex. But now that you think about it, Ovince St. Preux, a legend of the game, retiring at the Apex, doesn't really seem right, but it's probably going to happen. I think it's going to happen. I've trusted Superman way too many times to go against him now as a favorite in a fight that he should win in the very first fucking round. God damn it. Don't lose this one. Or else the PFL is the future for you, Ryan. And now we're on to the main card. We're pumped up, motivated at this point. Just predicted the whole prelim card. Oh, yes. And there we got an underdog that I was going to take, that I'm going to fade, who's potentially going to win. I mean, a lot of people are probably going to take Chris Padilla in this fight, who just submitted James Luntop in the very first round. Now he's fighting Rong Zhu, another guy with a big experience advantage. But I don't think it's going to help him. He's fighting on the Asian regional scene. He was fighting on the Asian regional scene. He went to the road to the UFC. Looked pretty good on the road to the UFC. In his last fight, though, he lost to Ignacio Bahamondes, Rong Zhu did. He got submitted. He's obviously going to improve from that fight. Ignacio Bahamondes is levels above Chris Padilla. We all know that. And that was a 3rd round submission win for Ignacio Bahamondes. Rong Zhu was competitive for the first round, for sure. And this first round, I don't see, unfortunately, the underdog getting it done. I don't. I want to. I want to trust in the crazy kid, Chris Padilla. Crazy kid. He's 28. Yeah, he's still pretty young, but 24 for Rong Zhu. When he was in the UFC the first time, he was probably too young. Now he's well-equipped, well-experienced, and he's won his last 4 fights. And he's looking good. He can win a decision if he wants. He can mix in some wrestling, have that control time. But, you know, he could lock in a submission. Just submitted a guy 7-0 on the road to the UFC. He knocked out a guy 9-1 on the road to the UFC. He has finishing potential for sure in this fight. Chris Padilla, he does as well. He won his last 4 fights. Like I said, he submitted James Luntop round 1. But he knocked out Justin James, former UFC fighter, not the best win, submitted an opponent 15-11 and had a guy knocked out that was 7-5. The level of competition clearly better for Rong Zhu. He's been in the UFC before, he's back, and he's going to make a big impression. The last loss for Chris Padilla was a guy 20-12. He has a lot of other losses too, 6, and they're not in the UFC. Rong Zhu, he's been in the UFC. He lost to Ignacio Bahamondes. He has 25 wins in the Asian regional scene or not. He still looked damn good. He has a great record. For 24, he has 25 fucking wins. This guy will show up, likely get the finish, although a lot of people think he'll get the decision. And he'll dominate either way, honestly. Decision or not. Decision, knockout, submission. I have to take Rong Zhu and fade the guy that I was potentially going to take as an underdog. just based off the fact that he looked so good against James Luntop, got the submission win. I don't think him doing that back-to-back is going to occur, although a lot of other people might be thinking that. If Chris Padilla wins, I'll be a bit sour, but it is what it is. Rong Zhu, for 24 years old, should be the much better fighter. Everywhere this fight goes, he has way more power on the feet. He's going to be the better striker. Judges are going to love him. I like the pick now. At this point, breaking it down, I'm feeling pretty comfortable. Along with the next pick here, Yanal Ashmouz, 7-1 versus Trevor Peek. I'm taking Trevor Peek. Feeling pretty comfy in my shoes right now with this pick. Seeing some more line movement go my way. This guy fights aggressive. Throwing looping shots at some point in the fight, I would think. Throwing wild. Throwing downwards hammer fists as well. I mean, this is a guy that could get caught. Let's be real. Looping shots, hammer fists, just wild as fuck when he's striking, but he's an aggressive dog that I would like to take. At a price tag that was 50-50, slight money coming in. I could only agree with the friggin' money coming in here. He will fight for your money, and he's aggressive. He's going to push forward. I think he's going to be the guy walking down Yanal Ashmouz, who had a big win in his debut to Sam Patterson. He has power in his punches, but he might be able to get taken down. He was taken down to Chris Duncan in his last fight. And Trevor Peek, if he gets the takedown, he gets the control time, he can get a possible submission. That would be wild. He's a wild enough guy to do that as well. Just search for the submission if he wants to. Because Trevor Peek has had takedowns in previous fights. Now, although I'm talking up his striking, he won his last fight by a decision to Muhammad Yaha. He lost his last fight by a decision to Charlie Campbell. And he lost to Chepe Mariscal by a decision. So a lot of decisions right now for Trevor Peek, a guy that is usually getting the knockout. When he came to the UFC, all knockout wins. He knocked out Malik Lewis on the Contender Series, who was 5-0. Made it look easy. He has power on the feet, we know that. And we're going to trust in him to be the better wrestler, have some control time, look for the submission. So anywhere this fight goes, I love Trevor Peek in this fight. I agree with the money coming in, and I'm also betting him. This is not just a prediction, this is a bet. And potentially, because I'm so confident in Trevor Peek and how good he is, I might make him a lock of the week. Ashmouz, he got taken down and controlled to Chris Duncan for a little bit. I think Trevor Peek can do a lot more. And Ashmouz threw 30 for 100 in his last fight on the feet. So he's not that good of a striker. He's actually pretty sloppy, pretty bad, quite inaccurate. For this to be a 50-50 coin flip, it's based off the fact that people think Trevor Peek is going to get taken down, controlled, lose a decision, maybe get outstruck. But I don't see that happening at all. So I might not just be betting on Trevor Peek and making him a lock of the week. I might be making this a pretty large wager. Other than a 7-3 decision win for Yanal Ashmouz, that debut knockout win to Sam Patterson, tall and lanky fighter with the chin hanging there, a 4-1 knockout win, and a 2-0 knockout win. Yanal Ashmouz, at 29 years old, really hasn't been tested yet, especially against a guy like Trevor Peek. Peek's ready to go. He's a junkyard dog, and I know he's going to fight for my money. And if I'm going to go heavy on a bet, at least it's going to be on a guy that's going to fight for every fucking dollar. So, Trevor Peek, lock of the week. Enough said. Content will be getting made up. Bet will be getting made. And I'll have to do it before this video gets posted. So then Patreon members have exclusive and early access. He's definitely one of my most confident picks on the card so far. He's my favorite pick on the card so far. And it's my birthday weekend. I want to collect a bag with one of my favorite fighters, entertainment-wise. Like, he's not one of my favorite fighters because he's so skilled. No, it's not the skill that will win Trevor Peek this fight. It is clearly the entertainment, the power, the looping shots, the downward hammer fists, and everything else this crazy motherfucker can do. I'm going Trevor Peek, going heavy, lock of the week. It was a 50-50 fight. And you know what? I'm going to probably look that on another lock or two as well. I want to make some real money on my birthday here, so predicted a couple other fights. Maybe one of them was a lock, if you want to know who the lock is. And even if I don't find a lock, Dreadstocks has a lock each and every fight night. The Platinum Hammer. Join for $5 a month and check out the Platinum Hammer this week. We're going to figure it out as soon as possible. It's Monday now. I'm going to edit the video tonight, get it out there ASAP for everybody. So I got to get going with these last 4 fights. We got Matt Schnell, who's going to shell up against Alessandro Costa, coming off a big win to Kevin Borjas by knockout. This guy has power. His last couple wins are by knockout. They're clearly setting up a guy here that was on The Ultimate Fighter in Alexa Grasso's corner, Alessandro Costa, to win this fight by knockout against Matt Schnell, who just got knocked out to Steve Erceg, got floored in round 2. I'm looking for the round 2 prop as well. Alessandro Costa has been getting the win in round 2, I do believe. He has a couple wins in round 2. So round 2 is just, ringing at my door right now. Round 2, I'm coming. And I hope it hits, because the plus money on that round 2 prop would be pretty sweet on my birthday weekend. Now, Matt Schnell, other than Steve Erceg, he's been knocked out to other guys too. So the chin being durable is not a factor in this fight. He got knocked out to Mateus Nicolau. He got knocked out to a lot of other guys too. I can't trust the chin of Matt Schnell. I know that he's a big underdog. Minus 500 as a favorite on the other side for Alessandro Costa. This is clearly a setup fight. Somebody knows something. They know he's getting the knockout win. A big submission loss as well for Matt Schnell 2 years ago. His only win was a submission win, and it was a triangle choke. So Costa might have to be a little bit careful on the ground, if anything. You can't really get a submission win unless you get the takedown to go along with it. That's a big problem. Alessandro Costa will take care of those problems, keep it on the feet, keep the boxing clean, technical, and start searching for the finish. Wear down the durability of Matt Schnell's chin, crack it, find it, get it done here. Looking for the round 2 prop as well. Not much more to break down at minus 500 for Alessandro Costa, especially with him coming off that win to Kevin Borjas, a very good prospect. He had the back mount, found the punches, had a big win in that fight. He's been win, loss, due for the loss, yes, but this is a fight where he can get back-to-back wins and start to make a little run for it in the flyweight division, because Matt Schnell has won 1 fight out of his last 5. 34 years old, no chin, time for him to go. He's going to need a submission out of his fucking secret treasure chest or some shit. I don't see Matt Schnell having much of a chance, although he's been around for so long, has so much experience. He's really going to need to find a fucking trick out of that treasure chest, and I don't think he's going to find it. Against Alessandro Costa, was on The Ultimate Fighter with Team Alexa Grasso, has great takedown defense, has great striking. I mean, good enough striking to get the knockout, so easy pick at minus 500. We're on to the next fight, 3 fights left, and this is a fight where I have to take another knockout. The guy's been on a knockout spree. Steve Garcia against Kyle Nelson, my Canadian, 16-5 and 1 for Kyle Nelson, 16-5 for Steve Garcia. Garcia, though, is on the knockout spree, and I don't see it ending, honestly. Kyle Nelson won his last 3 fights. He's probably screwed a lot of people's bets up, including mine. This is time to get it all back, because Steve Garcia won his last 4, all by KO. Pretty good opponents as well. Sang-Won Choi, Melquizael Costa, Shaylin Nerdenbeek, Chase Hooper. If he's finding the knockout in those fights, he has power. He has a great accuracy. If the fight goes the distance, he'll win based off the accuracy, power, damage. Kyle Nelson is not going for takedowns. I know that for sure. He can't get the control time either. If he does start to implement that wrestling, I mean, god damn it, Steve Garcia probably won't be expecting it. He wants to keep this fight on the feet, be the better boxer, and get it done here. Kyle Nelson's been knocked out before, but he had a baby. He's fighting tough. His heart is bigger than ever, and he just got a knockout win of his own to Shitty Bill Algeo. Good win for him. Decision win to Fernando Padilla, a guy that I thought would knock him out. Couldn't get it done, so my bet did not hit. Kyle Nelson got the decision win. He also got the decision win to Blake Builder, another bet that didn't hit for me. So Kyle Nelson's really been screwing around with my bets. It's time for him to get knocked out. It's time for him to get knocked out. I'm serious. He's my Canadian, but he's probably one of my least favorite Canadians. He's tough, durable, but I just don't like this guy. And he's been knocked out before. Actually, twice. So, I hope it happens again. Billy Quarantillo found the knockout win in round 3 in Kyle Nelson's 2020 fight way back 4 years ago. And Diego Fiera knocked him out in round 2, 2018. That's like 6 years ago now, so hasn't been knocked out in a while, honestly. He's had 1 fight so far this year, 3 fights last year. No, he tried to fight for 2. 1 got canceled to Do Ho Choi, and then his last fight before that was 2020. So he was quite inactive in the UFC. He's just starting to get active again. Has been on a good win streak, has not lost. So hopefully they set up Steve Garcia for the win. I'm a little sketched out about this pick. Match sales, shitty match sales now. Submitted him in round 3, so maybe a round 3 finish for Steve Garcia. Might take him a little bit to get the finish win, but eventually I hope Kyle Nelson gets finished. Although he's my Canadian, I should be confident in him. I'm going reverse psychology. I'm taking Steve Garcia, the Mean Machine, by knockout. He won his last 4 by knockout. I got to trust in that momentum to continue. 13 wins by KO. 6 in round 1, 6 in round 2, 1 in round 3. So, Kyle Nelson's tough. He could get caught in round 1 because, he was knocked out to Billy Q. But that was in round 3. He's been tough and durable to date since he's came back and started fighting active. I mean, round 1, round 2, round 2, round 1, round 2. For Steve Garcia, most recently, it's round 1 or 2. Like I said, 6 and 6 is how he gets it done. But he got knocked out to Mahachete in round 1. He got countered. Mahachete hits hard. He lost the decision to Louis Pena. Hopefully this is not the fight for Steve Garcia to finally lose on this nice win streak now. But not a credible win to Charlie Ontiveros. Jace Hooper didn't have the striking to really stand on the feet too long with Steve Garcia, if we're being honest. Shaylin Nerdenbike, good win in round 2. Male Quazale Costa, he was 20 and 6 at the time. That was a pretty good win in round 2 as well. And then round 1, Sengwon Choi, who was 11 and 6. Not a very good level of competition, but the best level of competition that he has beaten recently. It took him into round 2. So this is another spot, back-to-back, that I'm seeing the round 2 knockout win for the fighter I'm picking to win, who is now growing as a favorite as well. I do believe Steve Garcia. Like I said at the start, near the start, I'm taking a lot of favorites on this card. Not looking to get too crazy with it or get caught taking any underdogs. This Canadian, although he's live, although he's an underdog that could win, grind out a decision, I don't trust him to do that. Based off his striking accuracy numbers, not being able to get takedowns or mix up his game too much, I think he will get knocked out eventually. I think his striking defense isn't the best. He is hittable, and if he gets hit, that just might be it against Steve Garcia, who is known to get the knockout win. He won his last 4 by knockout. He has power in those hands. Let's hope the power is still there Saturday night on my birthday. And now it's time for the co-main event of the evening. Jessica Andrade, Natalia Silva. 2 Brazilians again, going to work on my birthday. Now, I'm going to take not the favorite this time. Holy cow, I'm going with Jessica Andrade. She did win her last fight to Marina Rodriguez, who had a lot of UFC experience, although had a lot of losses. She beat and knocked out Mackenzie Dern. She was getting submitted to high-level girls, Tatiana Suarez, Erin Blanchfield. I think she is the better fighter. She's only 5 years older. She has the better experience. And Natalia Silva hasn't lost in a while. And I don't think she's that great. I've been high on her. I've been very confident in her to win, to get the win. I've had her as a lock of the week. I know her very well, but in this fight here, this is a tough step up in competition. In her last fight, she won a unanimous decision that was 29-28 across the board. She didn't have a takedown. She got taken down once and controlled for 5 minutes. I don't like her as such a big favorite in this fight, so much that I am actually taking the plus 215 Jessica Andrade. I've seen it at plus 240. I'm hitting it. I'm betting it at this price. I'm definitely taking the underdog with a wager all the way. Andrade is tough. She hits hard. She's going to be the better striker, I think, in this fight. Not technically, but, when she lands with damage, she will be the better striker. And maybe, technically, she'll be better. Her IQ should be more relaxed in there. Feel more confident knowing that she has the experience. She'll come out of her shell and start to land more and more throughout the fight. Maybe a decision win for Andrade. We seen it in her last fight. It was a split decision. It was enough to get the win, though. In this fight, it might be another split decision. It could be a knockout for Andrade, but at plus 200 upwards, I can't complain with that price, and I will pick her to win. I would be sweating at minus 270, minus 300 with a Natalia Silva ticket. She's won too many fights recently. She's been on too good of a run. She's due for the loss. She's going to regress. She's lost 5 fights in her pro career. She's fighting one of the best women's fighter of all time, Jessica Andrade. This is honestly a step up. Don't be ignorant on this pick. I might be chasing an underdog, but I've been taking a lot of favorites on this card. If there's going to be an underdog that cashes in, it's Jessica Andrade. End of the night, systems play, women's underdog, OG of the game, former champion. Tough fight for Natalia Silva. If she can get it done, it'll probably be a decision. Just like she beat Jasmine Jazz DeVicious, my Canadian. Right? Just like she beat Vivian Araujo in her last fight. Just like she beat Andrea Lee. We haven't been seeing her crazy submission wins. Those arm bars, knee bars. We haven't been seeing those lately. She knocked out Victoria Leonardo. Okay? How much do you want to credit that knockout win? Leonardo just got flatlined, floored, thrown across the octagon, knocked out actually in one single punch in her last fight. That knockout win is not impressive. At this point, it's not impressive. This big favorite is fucking sketchy. She knocked out Trezebleta 8-0, but Trezebleta, where the hell is she? She hasn't fought in forever. Okay? I don't care if Jessica Andrade has 12 losses and 3 recently. A knockout loss to Yan Xianan. The girl just fought for a fucking belt. Tatiana Suarez. Girl could be the champion soon. Erin Blanchfield. Going for a title shot soon. I mean, I do not discredit Jessica Andrade after those losses. She's still the girl. She won her last 2 fights. She has a chance to win 3 fights in a row as a fucking plus 240 underdog. That's fucking wild. That's fucking crazy. Sorry for swearing, but the odds are way too wide for me to pass up this opportunity on a girl that I do believe is going to be the better fighter, who is going to hit much harder. And not gonna forget to mention, once again, she was a former champion. I think she gets it done here. So let's be careful if you have a Natalia Silva ticket. If I'm wrong, I'm sorry for steering you in the wrong direction, but it's kind of a systems play to take the women's underdog. You got to be careful taking the women's favorite, and don't be just blindly tailing my pick. Don't be blindly tailing my information. Just do your own research. If you do, you might agree with the pick after, listening to me, listening to a few other cappers. I don't know what everybody else is doing. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. And I think this dog gets it done. Same in the main event here. Last fight of the night. It's my birthday night. Saturday night, September 7th. We need the underdogs to cash in. The last 2 fights are when they will start to bark. I have a lot of favorites up until this point. But Gilbert Burns and Jessica Andrade, in my opinion, are 2 veterans, 2 OGs that are going to win. That are the better fighter. If they need to win a decision, they will. And they'll get it done. They better get it done. Gilbert Burns, this guy here, has not much more time left compared to Jessica Andrade, who is 32. Gilbert's 38. It's now or never for him. Now, his last fight, he should have won. He had 7 out of 11 takedowns, a ton of control time. He looked pretty good on the feet until he got knocked out with that knee and ground and pound after getting back up from a takedown. Big mistake, cost him the fight. Cost me a bet. Now, I'm going to trust in him one last time. At 38, I got to. I just have to at plus 160. I can't say that he has no value at this price. He has all the value. all the value is sitting on the Gilbert Burns side. After that fight to Belal Muhammad, where he got hurt, where he took it on short notice, he looked better against Belal than Sean Brady did. Sean Brady got knocked out. Standing knockout punch to Belal Muhammad. Belal looked way too good in that fight. Now, Brady came out and beat Calvin Gastelum by a Kimura in his last fight. An experienced guy. He had a lot of submission wins before fighting Belal Muhammad as well. Jake Matthews found the submission win. And you look at another guy, Christian Aguilar, another submission win. But not the highest caliber guys. The Aguilar fight was full. The dogs already getting wound up upstairs there. Benson's ready to go. He knows Gilbert Burns is the guy. And he knows Gilbert Burns was winning that last fight. So y'all know that the dog is upstairs with the bone in his mouth ready to go here. Christian Aguilar, 14-6 is not a very good win 4 years ago for Sean Brady. Okay, Jake Matthews is 17-4. Just a jobber. You know what I mean? I don't know that much, to be honest with you, because I had Gilbert Burns in his last fight, and I was wrong. I had him against Belal, and I was wrong. And I'm probably going to be wrong in this fight again. Like, I don't really know much when it comes to predicting fights, but I have some good weeks. I have some bad weeks. Everybody has those weeks, okay? But if we're being completely honest, I do think Gilbert Burns was winning that last fight. I do believe that it's now or never at 38 years old against a guy that got dominated to Belal Muhammad. You know, he showed that Gilbert Burns had a much better fight versus Belal. So there are some reasons to take Gilbert Durinho Burns. There's some very good reasoning behind the pick. Will he get it done? Will he show up? Will he prove what I'm saying is correct? I don't know. Will he get the takedowns, control time like he should, be the better grappler, possibly sink in a submission, flip the script? I think it's more unlikely to see that because Sean Brady has so many submission wins, has a great defense when it comes to submissions, I would think. We've seen him knocked out on the feet to Belal. I would think maybe that's a possible spot for Gilbert Burns to take advantage. He went toe-to-toe with Khamzat. Toe-to-toe. Didn't get knocked out. He had some good moments in that fight. If Sean Brady was standing across from him, maybe Gilbert would have got the KO. He submitted Neil Magny really easy. That won't happen in this fight. He had a decision win to Jorge Masvidal. Masvidal was getting old. He was getting slow. He got taken down, controlled. Easy win for Burns. He didn't even really want to embarrass the other guy from Miami. Both guys train there. They're kind of buddies, more friends than Colby Covington and Jorge Masvidal. So I feel like Gilbert Burns kind of gave him the night off, and then found out the hard way against Jack Della Maddalena. You know, not to get up from a takedown the way he did, because he got knocked out and ruined his opportunity to climb back into the rankings. It's going to be much harder now. He lost his last two. His chin could be compromised from that last fight, but I'm going to trust in him to be the better fighter, the better grappler, and the better striker on the feet. That fight with Khamzat going toe-to-toe, that's enough to trust in him in this fight to not get chinned, to be the better striker, to push forward, and to possibly rock him, sock him, Sean Brady. Knock him out. Get it done. That would be a big plus money prop to play. Gilbert Burns KO. Everybody would be looking at the decision or submission for Sean Brady because he's such a big favorite. I would say the underdog is very live once again in this fight, and I'd even play it with a high value prop. If the knockout's high value, why not play a little bit on that, right? So I'm looking to get paid. I'm not looking just to play these big, chalky favorites. I'm looking for the value. I'm looking to collect some bags on my birthday weekend. If you want to see each and every bet for this week, join Patreon for $5 a month. That lightning fast prediction show was not lightning fast, but everybody appreciates all the hard work that I'm putting in. I want to give you my pick. I didn't necessarily go too into depth with each and every fighter and what they do, but I want you to know what I'm doing, what my pick is, who I think is going to win, and how I think they will win, how confident I am in these picks. So at the end of the day, being honest, these are my picks. These are my predictions. These are not bets. And if you're betting off my picks or predictions, also do your own research. Listen to some other cappers. Doesn't hurt. Manage the bankroll wisely. 1 unit for me is $25. I'm being completely transparent. So some bets I go heavy on, some bets I go quite light on. Just a quarter unit, half unit. You got to manage that bankroll super wisely if we're going to take advantage of these bookies. At the end of the day, if we're being honest, again, as we should be, we can't be too ignorant to the fact that it's us versus the bookies. You don't have to get mad at me. You don't have to bitch at other people in Discord, which is a free group chat. You don't have to bash people in people's comment section. Okay? It's us versus the bookies. Listen to a number of people. Do your own research. You got ESPN, Tapology, SureDog, like the fucking Fight Center app. I don't fucking know. You got a bunch of different Instagram pages to look at. You got YouTube to watch Dana White talk about who he wants to glaze this week. Okay, so keep your eyes open. Keep your ears listening. And let's take advantage of these bookies for another week. Last week we went 9 for 11. And this week I think we're going to do very good once again. But people might not agree with the last 2 picks. We got 2 underdogs barking. Underdog barking in the first fight of the night. We'll start it off with the underdog. We'll end it with the underdogs. And we will have a great night on my birthday. So the fights are taking place on Saturday. I cannot wait. It's back at the Apex. We had a big break. And now I'm fiending some fights. So if you're fiending some more predictions, some Dana White Contender Series predictions, I'm putting in work around the clock. Subscribe now. I really appreciate that support. Smash the like button as well. And before I end the video, let's make it even longer. Comment your most confident prop at plus money on this card. Most confident prop at plus money with hashtag forecast of the week. I'm choosing one forecaster Thursday night. Aight? Thursday night. I'm choosing one forecaster to represent the Fight Fiend forecast on my birthday weekend. My birthday night. So let's get after it. Let's get high as a kite. Give me your most confident prop that you're highest on at plus money. Plus money. Plus 100 or above. Simple. I want to hear from the forecasters in the comment section below. To qualify, it has to be a prop. A method of victory. Submission, knockout, decision, whatever. It can't be a parlay. No parlays. Okay? Plus money, single prop, hashtag forecast of the week. Simple as that. Make sure you qualify. Let's get after it. It's my birthday weekend. On Saturday, September 7th, I'm turning 25. And the Fight Fiends and forecasters are going to keep me alive and collect some more bags. Let's go. Thanks for commenting your forecast of the week. Thanks for tuning in again and listening to this long prediction. I know you want a fucking quick 5-minute show, just the picks like boom, 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 boom. But if I'm doing a video, a prediction show, I better make it worth your while. Give you some stuff to listen to, some information, and some quality content. We'll see you soon. I'm going to be back for the props and parlay show, looking to produce some parlays, some parfaits, and I got a main card prop, prelim prop that I'm going to look to produce on once again. Last week we hit one, missed one. That happens. I have a full description each and every week on why I am taking the prop, and hopefully everybody enjoys all the work that I put into that, because I am putting like a massive description on why I am taking the bet. So putting in a lot of work, and that prop of the week, the main card prop, the prelim prop, and the lock of the week, dog of the week, will all be posted in the free Discord. Hit the link in the description below before you leave if you want some more free access to the Fight Fiend forecast content. It's free in Discord. Like I said, the props are in there. The locks, the dogs, they're not in there yet. They will be in there with the full description. So, like, seriously, it's free. Telegram is another great spot to get some free bets. The prelim prop, main card prop are going to be in Telegram as well, along with the locks and dogs. I haven't been doing that. I haven't been active in Telegram, but I see a lot of people liking Telegram. I'll start to post some stuff in there. So if you're following it, if I see the followers go up in Telegram, I will continue to do some more free bets and everything like that in there. So Discord, Telegram, there's a bunch of links on the link tree. Why don't you just hit that link in the bio below? I can stop talking and you can go start collecting some bags.